Hey, hey there, beautiful souls. This is Kim Parkinson reaching out to you from Podcasting for Spiritual Women. And today I have a coaching call for you on a podcast that actually really lifts and empowers people who have gone through some trauma, who have gone through some tough patches in life. And maybe they're feeling really weighed down by their past or they're seeking a deeper connection. And Jill Ripley is really there to help uplift you and help you grow and work on your mindset to get through the tough pieces. Now, she's just not some life coach. She's actually walked the walk and talked the talk. And she does tell us briefly inside this episode a little bit about what has inspired her to start her podcast. And I'm super excited to also just let you know that while the original name of the podcast was Empowered You, we actually already changed it and it is now Pain to Power, empowering you to heal from trauma, loss, and emotional wounds. And she is on episode 7 as I am recording this. I know this is going to come out in a couple of weeks, so probably on episode 9 or 10 by then. And I really think you should go and visit her website, empoweredbythestorm.com, and say hi to Jill. Give her podcast a listen. She's got a nice meditation on there too. So go ahead and go show her some love because she really has a powerful message about why she wants to bring this podcast to the world and how she's helping people through what is really a trying time in their lives. So thanks so much and listen in. Welcome, Jill. Could you tell me a little bit about your podcast and a little bit about you and what your podcast is about?
Yes. Obviously, I'm Jill Ripley, and my podcast is Empowered You. And it's a podcast where we talk all things healing, growth, and turning pain into power. It's my goal to help people to release the victim mentality that's been holding them back and help them step into their own power and to realize that you don't have to let past pain keep you stuck.
Beautiful, beautiful, excellent. And I know this is a relatively new podcast. You've only been out for, I think it said 4 or 5 episodes, correct?
Yeah, I just recorded episode number 7 yesterday, and I'm really excited about this one. It's about meditation, which is a personal passion of mine. It has brought me through, some extreme circumstances, and a little personal information. My daughter and her father passed away together 4 years ago in a motorcycle accident. And even the day that she passed, I meditated. And I don't think I would have been able to sort through all of this without the grounding and the connection to my higher power.
That's beautiful. Yeah, meditation is so important and really can help you just sort things out in your head without even realizing it's doing it. So,
Oh, for sure. It's been a game changer. I started meditating back in 2012. I got invited to a class. One of my professors at Quincy College had a Pilates studio, and she had this guy. His name's, I think it's Andy Kelly, and they call him the Boston Buddha. And I had tried meditating years ago, and it just really didn't seem to work for me. And he guided me through it to a point where I was like, "Oh my God, I can do this!" And I was hooked. And I've been meditating ever since.
I love that. I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, sometimes it's just a one step or a different type of modality to help you to get to that next step. So that's super important. I love that.
Yeah, I think it's more about breaking it down into simplicity, because I think everybody thinks it's this mystical practice that people are, like the average person can't connect to it, but everybody has breath, and we can all connect to our breath.
Mm, very true. Yes. And our voice, right? Which is why we
Yes,
podcast, which is, yeah,
exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yay.
Yeah. And I'm just hoping to use my voice to help uplift others.
Excellent. That is my goal as well. My goal is to help women to rise up, to try to get to their best self, and hopefully make a little bit of money along the way. So
Yeah, that'd be nice.
yeah, let's take a look at your podcast. I have your questionnaire and then I pulled it up. So your podcast name currently is called Empowered You, and that's with an ED. So empower, not just
Yes.
empower you, but empowered you. So, the very first thing that podcast players will search for is the podcast name itself. So, Empowered You. And when I search for Empowered You, I don't know if you've ever searched for it. Have you ever searched for Empowered You podcast on any player at all?
I did after I put out some episodes, and I realized there are some other podcasts with similar names, and I wondered after you put it out there and you name it, should you change it?
Yes. Perfect. Yeah, you can absolutely change the name of your podcast anytime. And with the fact that you've only got like 4 or 5 episodes under your belt, it's actually a perfect time because people that have followed you are still going to follow you. They're still going to be attached to you to follow you. But anybody new, it's a win for you because if we can really nail this down to a keyword and a keyword for who it's for, then what you could do is really get more listeners. And ultimately, that's the goal, right? That's the goal is to get more listeners, get more people into your sphere and then into, whatever your offers or whatever you're offering or things like that. So my goal here is to take a look at Empowered You. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have to use Empowered You, but maybe you use it as an extension. So either at the beginning or at the end, meaning we could do something like empowering women to, you know, to live their best life or something like that. And, or if you wanted to stick with Empowered You specifically, we could use something along the lines of you life traumas and more direction for women, for adults, for parents, however you want to say it, and then colon Empowered You, something like that. So we could do it either direction, and we could
Okay.
just really nail it down a little bit more so that people could search when they're in a podcast player and they're searching for what they want to listen to, what they feel called to, what they need to hear at this moment. They're not going to overlook the magic that you have inside your podcast because they couldn't find it. So that's what we want. We want them to be able to find it easily.
How about life by design?
So again, life by design for who?
Well, so for me, I'd like to uplift all people. I mean, as I think it's important to uplift women, but I don't want to exclude anybody either. So,
Hmm.
you know, I guess that's something that we'll have to maybe
Yeah.
chew on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be done in this one session or anything like that. That's definitely something that we can look at a little bit deeper and further into. But what I'm suggesting is finding really SEO keyword rich words to really nail that down. And
Okay.
again, you don't have to get rid of Empowered You altogether. This could be an Empowered You colon and then have a keyword extension after. So a lot of keywords after. So either direction on the keywords, but more powerful if it's at the beginning. But if Empowered You, because I know you also have a book that is Empowered by the Storm. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's empowered by the storm, releasing the past and embracing the light. So, I would like it to kind of reflect that. And that's why I chose Empowered You, because I feel like the book is empowering people to become their best selves. And so that's why I thought Empowered You, and you meaning whoever is listening,
Yeah.
that resonated with me, but
So you actually
tweaking
just
it, I guess,
almost
is
said it too. you said empowering people to become their best selves. So we
Yeah.
could actually play off of that too. So you don't have to have gender neutral, or you could be totally gender neutral here. You don't have to be very specific on women, men, adults, children, but you're empowering people, right? So empowering people to live a better life, you know, with what? So just a couple of other, like a couple of other, and I also want to mention, you do not necessarily have to, you don't have to stick with it. It doesn't have to be the be all end all. We could definitely play around with it, change it. It's as long as we still have the core principles of it, people are still going to find you. And we're just going to try to play around to see what works best for you, where you're going, what direction your podcast is moving in, and who you're serving and who you're helping. So yeah. Nothing in podcasting is like in stone. So you're good. It's not like a book.
Yeah, no. Well, and even books, you can do revisions.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
same difference here. So if you decided tomorrow that you wanted to turn this podcast into a podcast about gardening, I mean, it's a big swing, total big swing here, but you could definitely just go ahead and change that.
Yeah, I don't think my thumb's that green, but
you could really, it's yours. So you could change it at any time. So
okay.
You might lose a few listeners or gain a few listeners. Who knows? So
yeah, I just would like to, choose something that would be compelling enough to get people to come and listen and see if it is inspiring for them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the goal here. And the goal is to make it as easily found on the podcast players when they're searching, when they're doing any type of a search, because more and more people are searching in the actual podcast players. And by podcast players, I'm talking about like Apple, Spotify, Overcast, Podcast Addict, things like that. And they're searching, and maybe they've had a really tough, maybe they've had a death, and they're really like, searching for something along those lines. And your podcast speaks directly about that. And it's really clear in either the title or the podcast episode title that's what that episode's about. They're more apt to say, okay, I want to listen to that. That's what I need right now. And then once you get them in, usually they'll stay, they'll follow, and they'll continue, So that's the ultimate goal here. So,
right.
Yeah. So we can definitely work on some more keywords. I know that, you're maybe not set on the keywords yet, and that's fine. Well, we can definitely find some for you to make it more powerful and more impactful and searchable. That's ultimately the goal here. Searchable. So now I am taking a look also at a couple of other pieces here. Your episode art. Are you uploading new artwork to each episode?
I am now.
Okay. So episode 4, the artwork, you just posted that artwork, setting boundaries and self-love.
Does it look the same as all the other ones? Or did I miss one?
So no. Yeah.
I just changed some that were different.
Okay. So what I'm looking at is it says setting boundaries and self-love, but what I'm looking at is that it's so small. So what I would love to see is for you to make all of the words all fit the entire piece of art. So however you do that and it's fine if you have different podcast cover art with it, but make it so that it is easier to read. Because right now I'm actually on a very large screen here, and setting boundaries is self-love is really tiny. So
yeah. Okay, I get that. So that's episode 4 you want me to fix. Are the other ones readable?
I didn't look at every single one of them. I started to play. Actually, that's the most recent one. So let me look at episode 3 real quick. So episode 3 says learning to you. Your picture is actually covering love yourself, I think.
Oh,
so
I think I bet it's not because I didn't realize you had to change the size for. So I've got these up on YouTube as well. So I don't
Okay.
know if you can go to Empowered You on YouTube. You can see everything there. So I think I'll need to just check that all the artwork has the right sizing.
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely do that in
Okay.
you can do that right in your hosting platform too. So I know you're
Oh,
using
you can?
Buzzsprout. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You can post different images, whether or not that's for was it's for YouTube or whether or not it's for or is that just Libsyn and Captivate? I'm not sure about Buzzsprout. I'd have to go back into Buzzsprout and look. I know you can do podcast episode specific artwork in Buzzsprout, but whether or not it actually lets you upload the one for YouTube, I don't know that. I do know Libsyn does, and I do know that Captivate
Yeah, I
does.
think
I'm
I
just
think you
not sure.
gotta upload the one that's their size in
Okay.
Buzzsprout. So I'll just go back in and make sure I have them all sized right and adjust the letters to make sure it's readable.
Yeah, just make it easier for people to find it and read
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So yeah. And then you mentioned that you had a YouTube, but I will say I don't see it on your website. So you might want to just make sure that that link is at the bottom to that.
On which website?
On the empoweredbythestorm.com website, it says follow us on social media and it has Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. But you could
Oh,
easily put
okay. I'll have to figure out how to do that. I had somebody design my website and she bailed on me. So I
oh, all right.
yeah,
Yeah, I can
I'll
help you
have
with
to
that
figure out
too.
how.
So
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
that's an easy. I know you're using Squarespace. I use Squarespace a lot.
Yeah.
I
I
actually
did
know.
figure out how to put the podcast on my website. So
Yeah,
there's a podcast link. So
it,
a podcast you
player.
know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I can actually even help you with that too, because right now it's a little tiny, but we can make it a little bit bigger too, because it doesn't need
Oh,
to be.
cool.
You want it to make it easy for people to find, right? You
Oh,
want it
for
to be able to,
sure. Yep.
yeah. So, all
I'm
right.
all about easy.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah. And now, if I was to ask you to just wave a magic wand and just tell me, Kim, in 6 months, I want this out of my podcast. What is this? What is that you want?
I have no clue
Okay.
because I don't know what to expect from a podcast. I'd like to see some income coming from the podcast. I'd like to see podcast growth. But I don't have an expectation because this is all new to me.
Mhm.
I don't know how long it takes to grow a podcast. I don't know what an unexpected income could be from a podcast. So maybe you could guide me a little bit on, what should I expect?
Yeah. So, as far as growth, after we do a couple of keyword tweaks, you can see more downloads expected within 60 to 90 days for sure. You'll see it start to grow, but in like 60 to 90 days, you'll say, oh, those are regular people that are coming back week after week with the keywords updated and with the episodes being produced on a consistent basis, but also with the keywords in the episode titles. As far as monetary growth, now my coach actually makes six figures with his podcast. Just that. He doesn't take any kind of sponsorships or anything like that. So it's not done through that. It is done by having a clear podcast with a clear call to action and sending them to some type of a program, some type of a coaching program, some type of a course that he's offering, something like that. And he's making his money through podcasting and then driving people to his offers. And I think we spoke earlier that you do have some type of an offer that you could offer people other than just buying the book, right? You do have a coaching program. Is that correct?
I am working on that.
Okay. Yeah.
I I would like to do some public speaking. I'm a mindset mentor. One of my close friends, she calls me her life coach. So, would like to offer that to people. I'm not a licensed therapist, and but I have been through a lot of things, and I've been able to help a lot of people through a lot of things. So I would like to be able to help more people through things.
I love that. And life coach is definitely something that people are, and they don't have to be licensed for it. Even right now, like I mentioned, I have a podcast business coach, and he's not licensed. It's not a license that you need to have. I'm a podcast growth coach. I am certified in that, but I don't know that there's any kind of like requirements on that certification.
I
So
actually am a
yeah.
certified life coach. I did take a
Oh, there you go.
class through
Oh,
it, so
perfect.
I am a certified life coach. Um,
Awesome. Yeah.
But
So that is actually an easy, like, let's create you like a little page on your website to say what it is that you can offer to people, and then put up a little link with a form that asks some questions, gets people into your sphere. And then what we could do is, through the podcast, you mention that you have this program, and because people are finding you organically that way, and maybe you're doing some social media posts about your program and about your podcast, more and more people start to follow you, more and more people start to book calls with you, more and more people get into your work. And then after a while, you realize, I'm actually making money doing this life coaching. I mean, like, that's a win-win for you, right? And
right.
people are listening to how you coach. People are listening to how you work through your podcast. So they're already getting to know you. They're getting to love you. They're getting to hear how you work and how your modalities are. And then it's an easy, like, oh, there's the button to like go to our site. There's the button to get onto our newsletter, or there's the button to, book the call. And yeah, so that would be like the easiest way in.
Okay.
Certainly, I mean, I know that some people would be like, hey, I'm looking for a sponsorship and whatnot. If you had an idea of somebody very specific that you wanted to go after for a sponsorship, you can start that process anytime. So if you're like, I know of this particular whatever, and I want to be you could reach out to them at any time for that. So that it's a little bit of a harder row because you don't have as many episodes out just yet. But if that's the direction that you wanted to go, and you already knew that you have a built-in audience for that, we could definitely go in that direction. So there's a couple of different ways there to make some money. But by far the easiest way is directing people to your own program, to you, to keep the authority within yourself, within your
Right.
podcast. So yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to design a workbook too for people who would like to do some self work.
Oh, I love that. People love those. People love to do workbooks. Now, are you thinking about something up on Amazon, offering it that way, or just like a downloadable PDF?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Probably both.
Yeah. Yeah. You could even offer a couple pages of something like that as a freebie on your website to get them into your newsletter. And then realistically, the newsletter would then sell more of those type things too. So lots of avenues. You are like an open book where there's lots of choices for you. Remember those books they used to have? It was like, hey, if you want this adventure, go to this page. If you want that adventure, go to that page. You're that book. You're waiting for the adventure.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. So do you have any questions about what I talked about in regards to the podcast with the keywords and all of that just so far?
Yeah, how can we get that done as quick as possible?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not, although I meditate every day, I'm not super patient.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I just, if I know I want to do something, I want to do it now. I don't like to let things sit and fester and take years. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a couple of different avenues to work with me on something like this. And this is going to be totally up to you. We could do a 2-week plan where you and I work closely together. We have an hour meeting at the very beginning. We kind of go over all of the different keywords. We kind of have a plan of like what episodes you're going to be offering and look at those keywords. maybe change the name of the podcast, maybe change or update the title of the or the cover art of your podcast, and maybe look at or definitely look at your description, and then change those so that they just have some keyword rich pieces to it. And then there's a workbook that goes along with that. And then at the end of that, we have another little call, and that's and that will give you an idea of like what your next steps might be on that. If you are like, no, I need a lot more hand holding for something like this, I have a 3-month program where we're going to work together for 3 months. We start off, the first 2 weeks are still kind of starting off the same. So we kind of start with your title of your podcast. We start the cover art, and we also start with your description. And then we'll go through all of the different episodes that you want, maybe add in a couple of coaching episodes. We'll even update do your website and things like that. We'll update some of those pieces inside of that. And for that program, it is for the 3 months. So give you an idea. So do either one of those seem like something that you might be interested in, or are you looking for something different?
No, I would like to do the 3-month program. Is it possible to pay over 3 months, or is it you have to pay one time?
No, we can definitely do a payment plan. Absolutely, we can do a payment plan. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to, because I think, I think to get it really where I want it, I'm going to need some guidance. So,
of course,
yeah, I think it's an investment. It's also a write-off.
Yeah, because it's a business thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So we'll get you started with that. And so if you could, we'll just wrap this up. And if you could just tell us again the name of your podcast currently, and then who you serve. What are you planning on doing now? Let me know.
Yeah. So currently the podcast is called Empowered You. You can find it on all the platforms that are streaming, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. It's on all of them. And then it's also on YouTube as Empowered You. If you search Empowered You, Jill Ripley, it'll come up. What else did you ask me?
Yeah. Do you want to offer your website so that they can find you when we're done making your life coaching option?
Thank you. It's empoweredbythestorm.com, and you'll find on there all kinds of resources, and you can even get an Empowered by the Storm t-shirt on my website. So.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I didn't see, you've got swag already, man.
I do have swag already. So anyway, and it's my intention to help people overcome past trauma and learn to step into their power and just grab life by the horns and live the best life that they're meant to live, and not to let the past drag them down.
I love that. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Podcasting for Spiritual Women. If you would like more strategy and tips and some tricks on how to make your podcast better, I recommend that you join my newsletter list. You can find that at kpcreativemedia.com/newsletter. Until next time.